It's not doing anything.
Okay, go ahead.
Man, when you have a trilogy, trilogies, it takes a lot to make 3 movies. Me personally, I love to have a trilogy because it gives me something to watch for a long period in a day.
But only if it makes sense.
Yeah, only if it makes sense. And the problem that we've had in society is superhero movies. Superhero movies used to be something that was coveted, and now we just disregard them because of Black Widow. Black Widow is the reason that Marvel takes a back seat.
Well, see, I'm going to give a different take on that. I'm going to say not the major part, but I think there is a small part that has to do with actors and actresses getting big heads. Once they get into a Marvel movie and they find out, I can make some money off of this, so let me be greedy.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy King Germ, one half of Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Each and every Friday, Queen Germ and myself drop an episode to show the people how Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Now, we're not like most married couples. Most of the time we disagree, but that's the beauty of the show. So, when you get through listening to Sparrows UnderReview, come give us a listen. Each and every Friday on any DSP, go look for Pod and Saved Our Marriage.
I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey.
This is Sparrows UnderReview. So let me take a step back with what I said. Let's talk about the company Sony. Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man.
Okay.
So Spider-Man is and some of its entities they still own, and some of them they've traded off with Marvel and Disney to do different things. And one character that they've held on to is Spider-Man, Venom, anything else that goes along with that. And that's where we're going to start off with Venom. One thing I want to say to everybody is this is not to bash Madam Web or anything like that. I will not make any mention of that movie. Let's omit that and let's omit Morbius because Sony is hit and miss with things.
Right.
And what you have to understand is when you watch the Venom series as a whole, 1, 2, and 3, it is Sony's take on Venom. It has nothing to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe because you don't have anything that ties you to it except for a minor ending to the second movie in the very beginning of the movie that we're about to talk about now. Stacey, what's that movie called that we're about to talk about?
It is called Venom, The Last Dance.
Interesting title.
So what in the beginning tied it to Marvel?
The only thing that ties it to Marvel is that
Except the name.
Is that he's a Spider-Man character. That's all it was that he during when Thanos did the thing with his fingers, he mysteriously came into the cinematic universe for that end clip from the end of the movie, and then in the very beginning of of Venom 3, and then they were talking about the 5 rings and all that stuff, and then that quick he was taken right back to his Venom universe. So he was just literally a cameo at the end of his movie, and then a start to his movie, and then he was gone from the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right, because I didn't notice, and I'm not like a huge Marvel buff, I guess is what term you can use. I've watched, I think, almost all of them with you, but as far as remembering everything, I don't remember everything. But I don't see a whole lot of Marvel in these movies except for the mention.
Right, and the characters being Marvel characters,
right,
from the comic books. The one thing that has set Venom apart and which has flawed this series is this is Venom without Spider-Man.
Right.
You get a whole story. Like I said, this whole movie spin is what Sony decided to do. It's their cash in. It's kind of like a fuck you to Marvel in a way because it's generated money. It's got a lot of humor to it. It's got a comic bit to it that makes it good. And Tom Hardy has been amazing as Venom.
Mm-hmm. I like his character.
What challenge
he's done with it.
What's challenged me about all 3 movies is that I like that it's a different take. But anyone that goes away from this, when you actually go into the character, you look at the video games, because heck, Sony actually produces the Spider-Man game outside of this. I keep a copy of all the Spider-Man games anyway, exclusively on PlayStation 5. And the thing is that, if you watch the movies and you go to comics and you want to go to the video game, these movies all do you a disservice.
Okay.
But for someone that knows nothing about it, it gives you a nice environment.
Right, and I didn't feel like I had to watch any other set of movies to enjoy Venom.
Right, because there's nothing that ties to it.
Right.
What I will say is that the second movie, just to tie everything together, the second movie introducing Woody Harrelson as Venom, as Carnage, because you remember the character.
Yeah.
They did a good spin on that. And then in this new one where they had the symbiotic army,
Yes.
it was a good entry. And,
it kind of leaves it to where you could have additional movies in the future, but it ties up Venom's story.
Right, it ties up Venom's story, and it seems like a waste to me because we didn't get that Spider-Man interaction.
Right. And I was confused a little bit. Like, I want to know where that dude is at. Like, what is he doing? Why does he need these? Why does he need Venom?
Right.
Like, that's the part that didn't tie together for me.
And then the end credits, which I won't give away, but I'll just say this, is that if they're going to do movies based on the symbiotic army or the other variations of Venom, I
don't even remember the end credit.
Well, the end credit,
or that it tied into a future one.
Our villain was still alive, and he was talking about "I'm coming for you, Venom."
Right, and that's the thing. I think that's where my confusion is, because usually that end credit ties up a little bit, and it leaves you for a future. But if he needed whatever Venom created, like whatever that what was that? What is that thing called that he was after? That those creatures could find.
Yeah, that gold, that stuff in between. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see, guys.
And I'll tie this into this real quick. I'll just throw in a little extra.
Codex.
Okay, the codex.
The codex, yeah. So that is my question. If he needs the codex to survive, how is he still alive? Because they destroyed that codex. And where was he getting other codexes from? Right. Or was he getting other codexes? Like, or is he just an entity that sits there and just basically exists, and he can become, I don't want to say human, because I don't think he would ever become human, but I feel like he would be like a movable character that can go across the different realms if he had the codex.
Right, he would be
is that the way I'm understanding it?
Yeah, he would be an ever powerful character. He would be something that would kind of...
So it's not that he needs the codex to survive, it would just make him powerful.
And to break out of whatever symbiotic stuff that's holding him on that planet.
Okay.
Once he gets that, he would be free. And I was like, that's what kind of bothered me about the movie. Why didn't this character, this evil guy, get free? Why didn't we get to actually see what was going to happen? And if that's the last Venom, what are they tying into? But, like I said, with Sony, you have to put your hands behind your back, because we're doing a movie with Craven the Hunter. They do, like, extra characters outside of Spider-Man as cash-ins, like they did Morbius, which, God, let's not ever talk about that movie. And let's not talk about Madam Web either, because we'll leave those alone. So overall, from an experience of finishing a trilogy, and this is something that we have watched.
Right, in theaters.
Yeah, all three movies.
All three times.
It's a great experience. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a classic. It's not going to be something that I will even bring to someone.
I'll probably have my dad watch it, just because I feel like he enjoys the little things like that.
Yeah, it would be something that I have to, if you're a diehard fan, let's go watch it.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's snap into a Slim Jim and watch it. But if you're not a fan of it, I'm going to tell you stay away from it, because if you play the games, you read the comics, it will disturb you, because its storyline is so far out of place that it's not what it is. At the end of the day, is it doesn't have Marvel's touch. It says in association with Marvel.
Right.
Marvel has no true say-so in what goes on with Spider-Man in this. Sony's had Spider-Man since the 70s.
Right.
So I give Sony their props for what they're doing, because they are at least doing something in conjunction with them, because they don't have to involve them. They can do whatever they want with these characters.
Right.
And letting Spider-Man be a part of the Avengers and stuff like that. So kudos to you, Sony, because you're making money regardless across the board. And you were smart to tie up this license and never give it up. Mm-hmm. You're making money across all fronts.
Right.
But the problem with this, the problem with anything that's in this series, just like those two other movies I won't mention, do the characters justice. If you have to... everybody relates Venom and everything else to the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s. If you watched that stuff as a kid and you went to watch these movies, you would turn away. So it's not dumb.
See, I didn't watch those as a kid. So we're not going to that spot yet. What was your favorite part of the movie?
I think my favorite part of the movie was what was it? It was a bit of comic relief when he started dancing with the lady.
Mrs. Chen.
Yeah.
I love Mrs. Chen.
Yeah.
I think that was one of my favorite parts. And I really enjoyed the interaction with Eddie and the little boy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was sweet.
The Stoner family. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
More hippie family, yeah.
Once again,
I enjoyed them, yeah.
Yeah, comic relief in this movie. It does
It did. I liked the whole, let me get some laughs in here and let me get some, oh snap, and I like how it gave us just enough of the background of the scientist lady.
Yes.
And made us, wonder what's going on there. And I feel like they tied everything together very well. It didn't make me question, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Except for the codex part. But the character development was, I think, on point with all of the whole entire thing.
And I can agree with that. That was something that kind of struck a chord with me and hung on to me. Mm-hmm. It made me feel good. But overall, I'll say this. I'm not going to recant what I said. This is something that if you want to get into something, kill a few hours to spark your interest in something that's superhero, that has comedy in it, go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But don't, if you're a diehard fan, don't get mad at this because this is Sony's iteration of Venom.
Okay. I mean, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll probably put it on for my dad whenever we visit or something. And go from there. But as far as recommending for other people, like you said, if you're a Venom fan and you've enjoyed the other movies, I would go ahead and finish it out. It's not like it was trash. But, and I will say it did hold my attention the entire time. So it was enough to where I didn't need or want to pull out my cell phone and play on it while we were sitting there in the theater.
Right. It holds your attention. And that's one thing I always give to these movies and even to the actual Spider-Man movies since they are by Sony.
Right.
But on that note.
Do you want to tie into a little bit of the experience with the theater?
Not this time. Theater did its part, being a cheap theater. Unless you like to.
I mean, I wouldn't have brought it up if I didn't want to. But it's okay. I'm Stacey.
And I'm JR.